سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا المصطفى وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك. All praise belongs to Allah, Lord of the worlds. I testify that there is no worthy of worship nor true God except Allah. He has no partners and no equal, and I testify that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. And I ask Allah Almighty to shower His peace, blessings, and mercy upon our dear and beloved Prophet Muhammad, his family, companions, followers, and upon all of us gathered here in His blessed house. Ameen. Allahumma ameen. Inshallah ta'ala, before we begin our Khatira, I would like to continue to extend a reminder for all of our parents to continue to bring their children to the masjid. But we ask you to kindly take a moment to train them that during salat time and during lecture time that they would remain near you quietly. After that, I hope you can give them an incentive and a reward for behaving accordingly. One more time, if you have children, we would like you to continue to bring your children, but we ask you to kindly take a moment to take your child and sit them near you, and then take a moment to talk to them about the behavior and expectations in the musalla during prayer time and during lecture time. May Allah bless you and your children, and always have us be here as His honorable guests. As we are continuing to learn about Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's instructions, guidance when asking or not asking people for help. Islam covers every aspect of our lives. It is not just spiritual. It covers our transactions, our time of wealth and ease, our time of hardship and difficulty, our behaviors accordingly, our business transactions, our funerals, our marriages, our parenting, our perspective when it comes to weighing pros and cons, harms and benefits. Islam covers everything, every aspect of our lives. كما قال عز وجل ما فرطنا في الكتاب من شيء وقال عز وجل اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. In this particular segment of teachings from the vast and complete teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this hadith where Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. So for those who, mashallah, have pets today, you can relate to a great companion, the greatest narrator of hadith, bar none. He was known as Abu Hurairah, kitten man, because he used to have a kitten. And so it's important for us to kind of understand the Sahaba as they were the giants that they were when it came to the deen and practicing and following the teachings of Rasulullah, yet they were human. They were human. In this case, Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم من سأل الناس تكثرا فإنما يسأل جمرا فليستقل أو يستكثر. فليستقل أو يستكثر. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, says that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, one who asks people for the sake of increasing his or her own wealth, not because they're in need, obviously. No. MashaAllah, they have X amount, they want it to be X plus this much. And the extra that they are trying to add to it is not earned through hard work or through any type of employment or business. No. They're doing it simply by manipulating people to assume that they are beggars, and they go and ask people for help when they are not in need of help. And some of us might be shocked. Does this really exist? The truth of the matter is, yes, Unfortunately, it does. Every once in a while, when I first moved to Cincinnati, there was, mashallah, a few community members that forwarded this person's driver's license and their name. So this person preys on, not preys like this, like a predator. They prey on community members' vulnerabilities, and they try to go to this brother, to that brother, and this sister, and ask for money, and they are just a professional scam artists. And they move from Dayton, they move from here, they move from other states, and subhanAllah, some of the community members figured it out, and they contacted their family members and found out this person is a scam artist. They have wealth, they don't want to work, but they are just taking extra wealth on top of their wealth by way of manipulating people into begging, and the people would assume that they're a person in need, and they would give them out of the kindness of their hearts, but that person is truly not in need, and that person is a manipulative scam artist. That person, Rasulullah describes here, he says, "Man sa'ala an-nasa takathura," يعني ليزداد فقط, not ihtiyajan. One who asks people so they can just have extra. من سأل الناس تكثرا فإنما يسأل جمرا فليستقل أو يستكثر. That person is asking for jamr. What do you call a charcoal or a piece of wood when it becomes red? The flame dies down and you see this red in English. Nobody here knows that? No bonfires for any of you? No barbecue? Gas grills. There's a word for it in English. Jamr. Amber. When the wood flame and smoke dies off, and you see just this beautiful orange sun look like the sunset, the orange from the sunset, but it's actually a burning amber. That's what the person is asking for, not in the beauty of the burning amber, but in the burn of it, and this is in the akhirah. And then Rasulullah says, فَلْيَسْتَقِلَّ أَوْ يَسْتَكْثِرْ. That means you ask for a little bit extra when you're not in need, you're getting little bit of amber of Yawm al-Qiyamah, of Jahannam. And when you ask for more the punishment. Do you understand? This is serious business. People's wealth is a serious business. We cannot. Today we had a janazah. May Allah give Brother Muhammad Ali Jannah al-Firdaus. And I remember Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that every time he would have a janazah, or oftentimes, before he performed the janazah prayer, he would ask the attendees, he would make a public announcement, does this person owe anyone anything? Does this person owe anyone anything? If anyone claims a debt that this person owes them, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would not proceed with the burial or with the janazah prayer until that person's family takes care of that debt and settles it. And sometimes, on occasion, that deceased person would not have any family, but someone would claim that Rasulullah, out of the kindness of his heart, would say, I will take care of that debt. I will be responsible. But that being said, we are sharing this story with you, or these examples, because we want us to be very cognizant of people's wealth and possessions and properties and money. Obviously, and dignity. Because mashallah, some of us may not take other people's money. Allah gave them a lot of money, and Allah increase them with blessings. But they will be losing that money in form of hasanat that's taken away from them Yawm al-Qiyamah. When Rasulullah explained, do you know who a bankrupt person is? They said a person who doesn't have a dirham or dinar, or messenger of Allah. A person who doesn't have any money. And Rasulullah said, no, a bankrupt person will be a person that comes Yawm al-Qiyamah with good deeds the size of mountains, but They have backbit this person, they hurt this person, they curse this person, they hate this person, and they will be taken from their hasanat and given to that person to compensate them, and that person, until all of their good deeds are gone, and yet they still owe a few more people. Then they will be taken from the sayyi'at of those other folks that are still owed and put in that person's account. Then that person will be dragged to hellfire. May Allah protect us from it. So brothers and sisters, this hadith is very serious. It is narrated in Sahih Muslim, and it has to do with do not ask anyone for anything unless you are in need. Do not ask anyone for anything unless you are in need. And today also we have professionals, mashallah. Sometimes they come during seasons. Ramadan, you'll find a nice, mashallah, 2022 van that will pull up, and you'll have a sister or two come out, and a sister or two or brother or two goes to the other spot, at the gate. Some of them will be dropped off here, and then we have security send them out. And sometimes you find them other places. These are professionals. So we have to be very careful not to behave like that. We teach our children to always be dignified, and we live a dignified life, even if we don't have much wealth, but we don't ask people unnecessarily. Otherwise, there will be serious consequences Yawm al-Qiyamah, and like I explained, because that person is manipulating other people. They're not poor, they're not in need, but they're just begging people just as a way to increase their wealth, and that is completely prohibited in Islam. This next hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gives us some balance. When can I ask? Here, عن سمرة بن جندب رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم: إن المسألة كذب يكد بها الرجل وجهه إلا أن يسأل الرجل سلطانا أو في أمر لا بد منه. So Rasulullah explains that asking is not something we should do. And then he says, except if a person asks the governor or person in charge. What does that mean? If someone is in real need, the Surah of the Hadith, the scholars explain that if someone is in real need and they fit the criteria for financial aid, so they can request from the financial aid agency, government agency that is, or otherwise, for them to actually assist them. That is permissible. But again, the underlying criteria for doing so is what? For a person that is in need. Person is in need, they request from, in this case, in previous times, would be from the Sultan, meaning the governor or mayor or whoever is in charge, to give them from Bayt Mali Muslimin, from the Zakat treasury of the Muslims. Today, what's comparable to that is if someone is in real need, they can go to organizations that are Zakat collectors, such as our masjid to some extent. We are only carriers and distributors of Zakat. We don't do any other than that with Zakat. Your Zakat money, you give it, if you choose to have the masjid distributed for you, they take it and they have a list of people that apply and they request for financial aid. The masjid goes ahead and gives that on your behalf. And I would suggest, in addition to that, try to find poor people yourself and give them from you directly, secretly and quietly. Because there is a human element and effect to that. If we sit in our gated communities, in our suburbs, and we are isolated from interacting, real, true, genuine interactions with folks that are not privileged, as many of us may be, then we are depriving ourselves from really a lot of blessings. it has an effect on a person to soften them when they sit down with someone that barely can make it, and they see how little they have and how grateful they are. It makes a person feel ashamed from the lack of gratitude that we may sometimes show in our behaviors and lives. So it's very important for us to go, and this is not just my opinion. Rasulullah once was asked, how can I soften my heart? And Rasulullah said to that man, wipe on a forehead of an orphan. Wipe on a forehead of an orphan. This is symbolizing, like when you tap someone's shoulder, or it's a gesture of closeness and affection. But the point here is someone that's an orphan that is, obviously an orphan is poor. Usually they're vulnerable. Usually they're weak. They don't have a lot of support. At the very least, they don't have family support in the form of parents. So when you interact with someone that is in need of that human element, that human support, and you're a provider of that support, then that softens your heart. That softens your heart. And I think that's important for us to do. And also, I would recommend, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ قُلْ مَا أَنْفَقْتُم مِّنْ خَيْرٍ فَلِلْوَالِدَيْنِ وَالْأَقْرَبِينَ. They ask you, who should we spend on? Spend from your wealth on your parents and those who are related to you, and then the poor, and the ayah continues. So find poor relatives. This will give you double bonus, double rewards. The reward of Silat al-Rahim and the reward of helping someone in need. But again, Rasulullah in this hadith says, except if you ask someone that's in charge, that's in a position of authority, that is or will be providing you with help. So an example is when you request from organizations that distribute zakat, if you qualify, and also when you apply for government financial aid, if you qualify. This is okay to do, as long as you fit the criteria. The second is, أَوْ فِي أَمْرٍ لَا بُدَّ مِنْهُ. If you ask someone individually on an individual basis, if you really, really need that help. If you really, really need that help. And the Rasulullah encourages us to steer away from asking people and to turn towards Allah. And he says, من أصابته فاقة فأنزلها بالناس لم تسد فاقته ومن أنزلها بالله فيوشك الله له برزق عاجل أو آجل. Rasulullah says, anyone who is hit with a calamity, who is afflicted with a difficulty or calamity, and they run immediately to people for help, Allah will not give them the help they need. Their need will not be fulfilled. But those who are afflicted with difficulty and they turn to Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send them the help sooner or later. And in understanding this hadith properly, it means that we should ask Allah first before we ask any human being for help. And there's nothing wrong if you are truly in need to ask someone for help, but before you ask them, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't put your reliance on people. Put your faith in Allah. Put your reliance and tawakkul in Allah. Ask Allah. And then you go ahead and do what you need to do. And I will conclude with this hadith. عن ثوبان رضي الله عنه. And this is a very beautiful hadith. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم من تكفل لي ألا يسأل الناس شيئا وأتكفل له بالجنة فقلت أنا فكان لا يسأل أحدا شيئا رضي الله عنه. ثوبان, the companion of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم. And look how eager the companions were to apply apply the teachings and guidance of Rasulullah. He says, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, who will promise me to not ask people for anything and I promise them Jannah? Who will promise me to not ask people for anything and I will promise them Jannah? Thawban said, I, O Messenger of Allah, I promise you that I won't ask people for anything. And the person who, this hadith is in Abu Dawood, and it is a Sahih hadith. Those who recorded this hadith and observed the life of Thawban, radiallahu anhu, say he never used to ask people for anything. In another narration, even when he would be on top of his animal, donkey or horse or camel, and something would fall from him while he's up there. Usually if you find someone walking or standing there, you don't have to come all the way down and pick it up. You can just say, can you please hand me this stick or this whatever fell from it. Thawban even used to refuse to do that. He would, in the middle of travel, if something fell from him, he didn't ask someone to give it to him. He would come down, pick it up himself and keep it, because he wanted to keep his promise to Rasulullah that he will never ask anyone for anything. And in return, what did Rasulullah promise him? Jannah. So is this a big deal? It is a big deal. So unnecessary asking is prohibited in Islam. And when we ask, we need to ask Allah first and foremost. And then it is permissible when we are truly in need to ask those who are in authority position to assist us, whether it's government assistance or institutional assistance. And it is also permissible to ask individuals, but only and only if we are in dire need. And before we ask this or that, we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. And those who try to, and by the way, the trying isn't to let yourself to get to a position where you are in dire need, then you say, I'm not going to ask. It is proactive as well. As a matter of fact, that's what the recommendation is, that we work so hard. We make tawakkul on Allah, we make dua, we work hard throughout our jobs and lives and businesses, and we actually earn a halal, pure, tayyib earning. And with that, we prevent ourselves from asking anyone. By doing so, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give those who work hard and earn halal earnings and spend it in the way that pleases Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them Jannah, inshallah. As Rasulullah said, who will promise me not to ask people, and I promise them Jannah. And Thawban was one of the Sahaba that used to do that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the etiquette of Islam and the attitude of Islam and the proper understanding of the teachings of Rasulullah and the Holy Quran. Inshallah, brothers and sisters, I would like to take a moment to remind all of us that we have this weekend the youth conference, the ICGC Midwest Youth Conference, mashallah. Lots of effort has been taking place behind the scenes by Brother Isa and Sister Sadiya and many others. And we have many wonderful guest speakers coming to visit. So please, all of the youth sessions, we'd like them to have just stand-up room, meaning all the seats should be sold out. And anyone who can't afford it, go. And Brother Isa and Sister Sadiya will allow you in if you cannot afford to pay the fee. But please come to the program. And this weekend, make sure you dedicate it for the masjid. Friday evening, Saturday, entire day, we have such sessions, and Sunday morning, inshallah. All of these programs with the details are outside and also on our website and WhatsApp thread and the email and all of that. So please make sure if you know anyone, they come to the masjid or don't come to the masjid, please bring them, invite a friend. Allah could make you a means for another person to be guided. And every salah they make for Yawm al-Qiyamah, you get a copy of rewards. Every zakah they give you will get a copy. Every Quran they read, you get a copy. Every good deed they do, because you are a means for their guidance, you will be rewarded immensely for it. So please, this weekend, try to come to the conference. Also, I'd like to make dua for Brother Muhammad Ali, who passed away today, and also for Sister Maryam's mother, who was sick in Mauritania. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give her shifa, and all of those who لا إله إلا الله الحليم الكريم سبحان الله رب العرش العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اجعل تجمعنا هذا تجمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا معنا شقيا ولا محروما اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا اللهم برحمتك من الراشدين ربنا أصلح لنا في ذرياتنا إنا تبنا إليك وكنا من المسلمين ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان برحمتك يا حنان يا منان يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث أصلح لنا شأننا كله ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين ولا أقل من ذلك اللهم رب الناس أذهب البأس اشف أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين شفاء عاجلا كاملا لا يغادر سقما ولا ألما اللهم امسح عليهم بيمينك الشافية والبسهم ثوب الصحة والعافية واشف اللهم مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وعاف اللهم مبتلانا يا أرحم الراحمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وأدخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار برحمتك يا عزيز يا غفار وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا جزاكم الله خيرا. Please enjoy some snacks in the mirror hall.